Hey everyone, this is Alp Actinis here, Managing Director of Architecture and Platforms here at FP Automation. Welcome back to our series on Construction Unified Analytics and Planning within Microsoft Fabric. In this video, we will be talking about our Work in Progress report or WIP schedule report that we have built within our demo asset to showcase to you how executives and management are reviewing all active jobs across the business and exactly where they stand from a budget versus estimate at completion standpoint. What I'd like to do is quickly talk through this WIP schedule and why this is so important to an organization to have high level into exactly what's going on with their business, and then be able to double click and drill down into individual jobs to understand them in more detail. On this WIP schedule, we can see right here that we have the ability to be able to view jobs by project manager, search particular active job numbers or historical job numbers, and then review scenarios, which we'll be talking about in a second, where this comes into play. On here, we can see our jobs and our projected start and end dates, and you'll see here that we don't have a time component in place right here, but instead have a scenario component. That'll come in handy in a little bit. Now, what this is essentially showing is the original contract value, as well as the original costs that the job had in place at the time we bid the job. And then we also have revised estimated costs as well. So what you can see right here is that this is essentially the budget of the job, but we've also layered in any change orders that have been approved that would be baked into these numbers here. So basically the contract revenue amount as well as the revised estimate amount. That way we see exactly how much from a revenue and cost standpoint we expect to earn on this job. Here's the gross profit, here's the gross profit percentage. We also have actual costs coming in from our ERP system, as well as actual build amounts coming in from our ERP system. That could be Aquamatica, that could be D365 F&O, it could be whatever your ERP system is you're working within your construction company. We worked with many ERP systems to combine data from various different systems to unify it into one place, being Microsoft Fabric. Now, because in construction, there are very, very thin margins on particular jobs, it's important that you have full visibility as to where you stand as you move throughout the job performance process. We can also see the percentage complete here. This percentage complete essentially represents the actual costs divided by the revised estimate costs, telling us how far we have completed the job at a high level. Earned revenue is essentially taking the percent complete times the contract revenue to tell you what sort of revenue you should have earned from this point compared to what you have actually billed. And we also have conditional formatting here to indicate if we are over or under by 5%. Now, what you can see right here is that when we are over, this is essentially telling us that the job may be potentially running over and something to look into if we are way over on billings at this stage, or potentially accelerate the job, which may not necessarily be a bad thing. Under billings is a situation where you are underbilling the job, where you have not collected what the expected amount. And this is a good example right here, where we can see that we have billed 5.1 million, but we should have earned 5.4 million based on our percentage complete here. We can also see other metrics such as remaining PO commitments. So this is essentially the material commitments that we currently have within our system that are yet to be actualized. That'll come in handy in a little bit later when we talk about remaining PO commitments. And then we also have cost to complete and estimate at completion. Now, what estimate at completion here is showing, again, this is the cost amount right here, this is essentially telling us, hey, if we take our actual costs and then we add that into our cost to complete plus our remaining PO commitments, and that actual cost will also include the change orders that are approved, here's where we expect to end up at the end of the job right here. And this is something that we can compare to our revised estimate to see how accurate we are as we are reforecasting throughout the months. And that's where this scenario comes in handy. Essentially what we've done is we've partnered with various different construction companies to build a process where they can forecast the remainder of the job or the cost to complete the job. And that's basically the required materials, the equipment, the labor, as well as the subcontracting to finish the job off. And as you move throughout the months, what will happen is this particular scenario will act as a mechanism to be able to track all of your actuals up until the month selected. So in this case, up until March of 25. And then the remainder would be the cost to complete the job, showcasing how much we need to be able to complete the job based on remaining PO commitments, as well as what the cost to complete is project managers or field teams are estimating. This gives management full visibility into exactly what's going on in the job so that you have a control tower to know exactly where you stand and then be able to double click on various different jobs. This is something that a lot of companies struggle with due to all the various different systems that they have in place needing to be unified into one location and have the data be able to be interactive between all different data sets. That's where we come in. We help you to combine this data so that you can double click and understand where there are gaps within your jobs and able to spot in order to be able to spot value leakage where you could be potentially earning additional revenue and stopping profit from falling. We've done this countless times and have helped companies to realize 6 to 7 figure returns with data like this in their fingertips. I hope you enjoyed this particular video in this series. In our next one, we will be talking all about job profitability as well as job performance. Thank you, and this is Alp signing out.